He's identified it. Here now, Paul Glastris, who's the editor-in-chief of the Washington Monthly, former speechwriter for President Clinton. And I do want to talk to you about trade, which we were just talking about in a minute. First on DOGE, is this starting to change? I referenced it before the break. We can pop it up that there was a poll of young people who weren't very, very happy with Elon, okay? And now you get some Republicans pushing back. Story out today that maybe even Trump's going into the cabinet and saying, you guys want to fire someone, you take care of it, not Musk. Is it changing a bit, the environment in Washington, do you think?
It looks like it. I mean, you know, the president has had some reversals at the Supreme Court. The polls are not good. People don't like these indiscriminate cuts. People are being cut for political reasons because they're in some category. There's no sense that they're being done for efficiency or to really save any money. The president himself was saying we should be hiring better people and promoting the better people. This is a complete reversal from what they were saying just a couple of days ago. It was always a terrible idea, unconstitutional, probably illegal. You have an oligarch sending 20-year-olds in to delve into highly sensitive computers and firing people willy-nilly. What could go wrong?
Well, we were just watching the president. We played back his comments from the Oval Office, which is why I wanted to ask you about trade, because I was thinking a lot of this does go back, if you think big picture, the debates in this country to when your old boss signed NAFTA, I guess it was 1994, right? And now everybody's idea, or a lot of people's ideas about trade, have kind of evolved and changed since then. And here we are with President Trump going at it with Canada and Mexico. How do you see the situation as it's kind of developed, and what do you think's next?
Well, I see he's reversing himself, right? He's in retreat. Remember, in his first term, he trashed the NAFTA in the campaign. Then he demanded that the Canada, Mexico, and the United States cut a new deal. They did cut a new deal. It wasn't that much different than NAFTA. He slapped a new name on it. Then he came back into office this time and said he didn't like the deal that he signed last time, and he's going to have a new deal. And then in February, when the tariffs are supposed to go in, kick in, he put a pause on them and said, well, we're going to negotiate. Then they negotiated, and he didn't get much. And then they were supposed to go in. They went into effect on Tuesday, and now he's back.
Now he's delaying him and says till April 2nd. It's funny, we were talking about the market. And, the president everyone who watched the first Trump term would say, well, he was very sensitive to the stock market. So it was interesting today that when he was asked, he says, no, I'm not even watching the market. That's not what this is about. It's a longer-term goal and all the rest. But the market, funny enough,
it used to bounce. He was in retreat.
I was going to say, it used to bounce back, though, on days like this, but not today, right? Today, it was down again. So the uncertainty, I think investors are saying, you know what, enough of this. We want to know what's going on.
Look, the president has spent the last 6 weeks trying to make major changes.
Yes.
And it's hard to figure out what he's gotten from any of the changes. They're being reversed in the courts. He's reversing them themselves. The markets are off. Manufacturing is down. His poll numbers are down. He's taken a blowtorch to his political capital, and it's unclear what he's gotten yet. We'll see what he does in April. I think in his heart,
I would say on immigration, he would say, and I think he's right, I think he's gotten some stuff there, like the numbers and the encounters at the border are down, and it might be by the threat of what he would do. So I think that's the one I would point to. I get your point on the other issues.
Before he got there, and he's very upset that there's not mass deportations.
Yeah, he wants the arrest to be higher. He wants the arrest to be higher. But the encounter numbers, I think, are down a lot. And probably, I would say, if you're being fair, that's because of the threat of people's minds, probably what Trump might do. But the other issues, I get your point, especially on trade. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for coming on, by the way, Paul. It's good to talk to you.
Thank you.
Okay.